Welcome back to ECS Tuning. I'm Grant, and today we'll be replacing the valve cover gasket and the valve cover on this 07K equipped Mark V Rabbit. Let's dive into it. In front of me here is one of our Bremmen aluminum valve covers. Now, the unfortunate reality when it comes to a lot of European cars is that their valve covers are made out of plastic, which tend to break under high temp and high performance circumstances. We offer a wide variety of aluminum valve covers for every make in the Euro line, from BMW to Mini to Volkswagen. The issue with most aftermarket aluminum valve covers is that they don't maintain the stock PCV system. So you have to run a catch can of some sort or figure out your own solution for the breather system. Best part about the Bremmen ones is that they do, in fact, retain the stock PCV system, which makes this replacement so much easier. And the best part, our kit includes everything you need to do the replacement. It comes with the valve cover gasket and all the hardware needed that needs to be replaced. So let's look at the tools needed to complete this job. Tools needed for this DIY are actually quite simple. You're gonna need a pick for some electrical connectors, flathead screwdriver for prying up very gently on the ignition coils. The only size tool you'll need is a T30, and you'll need a torque wrench. Before we start here, I want to show you the two locations that my valve cover is actually leaking at. One of them is right here. As you can see, that is clearly oil leaking from the bolt there. And back in the corner there, you can actually see slightly that there's oil leaking onto the heat shield of my exhaust manifold. So those are the two reasons that this valve cover needs to get replaced. So the first step here is to remove everything on top of the valve cover so we can get access to all the bolts surrounding it. First step would be to remove the breather hose. Normally there's a pull tab here that you just push in and then pull out. But since I have IE's intake manifold, it is a flathead hose clamp. After we do that, we're going to remove all the ignition coils and the harness, move it to the side, unplug the harness here as well so the whole harness can flip over, giving us access to the bolts on the back here. And then all the bolts here are T30s, so it's relatively simple and shouldn't take us long to get access and get this thing off. So we'll start with the breather hose here. So starting on ignition 1 here. So when it comes to these harnesses, you gotta push and pull like so. I've had these off a countless number of times, so they're pretty easy to get off. But if it's hard to get off, if you insert a flathead pick directly into this section here and just gently lift off, it should pop right out. There we go, like so. Do be careful with these. These can tend to break, and then you have to replace the whole plug, which is no fun. There we go. And then we can move the whole harness out of the way to get access to that bolt and that bolt. Next is the ignition coils. Now these can be a little tricky, so if you want to take a flathead screwdriver and just gently pry up, there we go. Cool, no oil on that one, which is good. Well, the good part is none of the ignition coils have oil on it. So it looks like the spark plug seals are still good, but still, front of the engine here, seeing a lot of oil. Get it cleaned up. One last thing I like to do before actually taking off the valve cover. Got a little bit of compressed air here. And I'm just gonna clean the surface off. Wow, there's a lot of oil coming out of that right there. That's bad. And that's just to make sure that no contaminants fall onto your camshafts when you take off the valve cover. So let's get this off. So now we're ready to take the valve cover off, and there is a specific sequence to getting it off. You follow the reverse of the torquing sequence. So you start with 16 here, then go to 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are all going to be a T30. So you may be wondering, why are we following this sequence if we're just replacing everything here? Well, if you're just replacing the valve cover gasket and you're still retaining your valve cover, then you don't want to warp this object. So it's a good practice to just follow the procedure, how it lays it out. These are not torque tight at all. So a simple 1/4 inch T30 should do. All right, now that that's loosened, we can just go and remove all the bolts because this is now loose. There's no torque on the actual valve cover, so you don't have to worry about the torque sequence. These are captive bolts. So the best part is you'll feel once they're out enough, like that one. These ones where the studs go for the stock engine cover come off pretty easily. These are also captive as well. Now, as I said, these bolts are captive, so it's kind of hard to tell if they're fully out or not, but we're just gonna rock this back and forth, break the seal. Oh yeah, this valve cover gasket has never been replaced. There we go. Look at that popping sound. Look at that. Ugh, ugh, disgusting. Right now would be a good time for me to say to wear gloves, so I'm gonna go put on some gloves before I continue. As I said, some of these bolts still may be grabbing some threads, so. With that, valve cover gasket and valve cover is off. Also, this is a good time to inspect your engine. You know, all the cams look pretty fine, actually. Not seeing anything too bad. Rockers look good. Doesn't look too bad. I'll take it. For 120,000 miles, it's a pretty decent engine. Now, I'm gonna clean up this surface here. Do be careful. You can use a Scotch-Brite pad if you want. And I may if I find any spots that are being a little aggressive here. Like right here, I may use a bit of a Scotch-Brite, but you know what? Yeah, anytime you have your engine part like this, it's a good time to inspect everything. I think I will grab a Scotch-Brite pad for a few spots here. But you know what? Not too bad. It's not a bad engine. So we're gonna prep the new one. And I just wanna show you some of the differences real quick between the stock one and our Bremmen one. As you can see, mine is very milky. That's because I live 10 minutes from work and do a lot of short drives in the winter, which is not good for a car. You'll see this very commonly. Could also be that the PCV system just isn't doing its job wholeheartedly, because this is probably the stock valve cover that came on this car and has never been replaced in 125,000 miles. We'll move this to the side, start prepping this new one here. There's one way that this gasket fits on, and it's pretty easy to tell which way that is. I'm going to want to start laying it down in there very gently. Now, if you have a higher mileage vehicle and you're worried about additional leaks, you can do additional gasket sealer on these. Don't recommend it per se, but there's times where, you know, you may have a 200,000 miles 07K and it just will not seal up right. So gasket lays right on there pretty nicely. Got all our new hardware. So remember the locations of these guys. Thankfully, the stock guy is captive, so we can see where the two went, which is in this corner and this corner, the two bottom corners. So start with these guys here. the gasket actually helps make the bolt captive. So what you kind of have to do, this may be hard to see because one-man squad today. There's a lip on the bolts right here. That has to go over top of the gasket itself. So it'll slide into the existing hole. You gotta take the gasket and sort of work it in, and that will hold the bolt in place. See the lip right there? That has to go over the actual gasket. There we go. All right, I'm gonna time lapse the rest of these. Those were the only two specific bolts. Every other bolt is the exact same. So I'm gonna throw them on and then get the gasket on. Our surface is prepped and ready. Got the new valve cover right here with the gasket. And as I said earlier, the bolts on this one are actually captive to the gasket itself, so it helps keep it in place when you're installing it. So we're gonna flip this Johnny over. Be careful. Line her up, like so. We're gonna start everything by hand. Do not torque it down yet. This is just to get it in place, and I'm going to grab my screwdriver, and I'm actually going to go in the actual torquing sequence to hand tighten it. So one, it's right here, and I, again, am just going to hand tighten it till it feels snug. That's snug. 2, 3, 4, 5 is the one right here that's kind of hard to see. Once this last one is snugged up, we are going to switch to a torque wrench and torque all the bolts down in the same sequence. And the torque spec for this is only 10 Newton meters. So again, starting at number 1 right here. 2, 3, 4. All right, now that they're all torqued to 10 Newton meters, I'm just gonna go back through in sequence. Make sure they're all good. All right, and it's torqued down. Now we're gonna plop ignition coils back into place. 1. Now we're going to reconnect the wiring harness. And before we reconnect the wiring harness, we're gonna spray everything with Liqui Moly's electrical spray to make sure that the connections are good for the rest of the lifetime of the vehicle. So all you gotta do, take the actual female end here, quick spray, let that sit for a little. Set that right there for some brand placement. Start reconnecting everything. That'll ensure that all your connections are clean, nice and fresh. Look at that. Everything fits back into the stock location, and then all you gotta do is reconnect your breather. If you have the stock air intake, throw it back on, and you're done. And that concludes this DIY. A link to the product as well as some of the tools used will be in the description down below, as well as a link to all our Bremmen aluminum valve cover offerings. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more enthusiast content. Bye-bye.